Um, so not only thanking our Heavenly Father. Hold on a second, my son needs something. Anyway, my son was just telling me we're going to be going over on the internet, so I got to make this stream short. Um, yeah, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of awesome things, and I want to clarify. If I said threeplex, I meant some stuff I wrote down. Fourplex. My bros. He bought a fourplex that I've been praying for the residents inside. Uh, that that they're not just squatting, that they do have a job, and if they are that squatting, that the Lord touches their heart, and so we can utilize that place for what it's going to be intended, what my bro intends it to be used for. And also, Casey, that's amazing that this is which is going to segue me into um, Millie. Also, is that you see how you were talking about Arkansas? This is how things work when you live by faith. Um, and that's why I say faith without works is dead. It's because we're saved by grace through faith. Um, and so I'm one of the biggest faith propagandists, if that's what you want to call it, advocates. Um, what else are they? Spokesman. When it comes to faith, I'm that guy. That's the one I. That's who I am. That's where I've got. That's how and why, and I'm in where I'm at and going where I'm going is because of faith and exercising that that thing hoped for and unseen by pretty much most anybody. But people are starting to wake up, and they're starting to. Some of them are digging up their talent, going, "Wait a minute, I'm no, I'm not going out like this." So yeah, so Casey, that's amazing. I caught just a little bit of your podcast. So much has been going on, uh, otherwise, like I said, the Lord, I'd have been up and out of here a little while ago, but I was led to be here. My daughter moved in and kind of helped out when I was incarcerated. So yeah, Casey, that's amazing, Arkansas. I can't wait to meet you. And also John Hall, you're absolutely right. The children's starter kit. It's at all that junk food and that soda pop. That stuff is just, man, that is bad. I was hooked on that stuff for years, man. When the Lord led me to heal myself of cancer, which I have family members that, and he said that's one of the first things you need to do is get, because that stuff feeds on that. It's all by they know they've been doing this a while. It's quite the 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 sick one. It's a sick one. Mr. Grinch, and then Mr. L. You always you're looking good, and just a little here and a little there, and before you know it, we're they're moving and we're building. So John, yeah, holding on to sin, and I like what you said, and I wanted to say, but I missed the the chat. I'm trying to again. It's just there's so much been going on. Here, let me try to steady this. There's been so much going on. I'm appreciative. Very. Uh, Otherwise, I'd have been stressed so far out. I wouldn't have known what to do other than thinking a drink was going to help me. 'Twas the drink that killed him. Um, So yeah, you're looking great, Mr. L. And I've jotted a couple more things down here. Let's see, salting skin of oh yeah, that raccoon that uh my son was showing me. I don't know if I even want to tell you that with Philip when he grabbed that raccoon. We were talking this morning about Bitcoin and all that stuff. I was trying to watch Tori's deal and do my push-ups and everything else, and he's talking to me, and I don't want to not pay attention to him. He, not to mention, he said, "Well, this is how much I made." He shows me. I said, "What? You made this in how many days?" He goes, "Well, over the last 5 days, but in the last 3 days, this." And I said, "You're kidding me." He was talking about the blockchain and the Bitcoin and the other stuff I didn't even know how to pronounce until I was, and I was like, "Well, hopefully that's it." When I sent it, so yeah, wow, that's I haven't got any memo on that yet, but the stock I did long time ago when I was in Wally World, and uh yeah, no, you're not. Yeah, and back to the Arkansas thing with Casey, and then into Millie. Now you're not holding, sweetheart, I love you, you're not holding me back from anything. I If I had thought that the Lord had sent me the angel that I'm supposed to be with by now, I know for a fact I would have fell out of love with you. And because I know it sounds crazy, but I've been doing this for you for a long time. Now I know this might sound crazy and psychotic. That's why it's almost like the relationship that I was in here, the dysfunctional relationship. I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm healthy enough upstairs, and that's why I'm in this position and going where I'm going and bringing as many as I can with me, which is forever. Isn't that a nice place to be when you're on that side of forever? You're not holding me. I just have to have a I can't have some cyber deal forever. I mean, that would be pretty unhealthy itself. And for someone to want someone to just, that's just like her. She didn't, as long as I'm around, she don't care. She doesn't even care. I could be just spanking Frank, watching. I could just do whatever. Now, if we were in a quote related, now that would seriously, she'd flip smooth out. But I mean, I'm just giving you a crazy contrast that would never happen to show you how dysfunctional and how people that are dysfunctional will cling on to stuff that, are just absolutely madness. It's just madness. And I'm done with that. So, no, like I said, I wrote that letter. I've wrote so many, but like in all fairness, you may not have been aware of them. Things change, people change. So I've given a fair time frame. I I haven't heard anything. You've had, so and I'm not angry, and I do get a little, if some of that stuff, I'll continue to support you with, but if some of that stuff starts flying around, and that's just what I catch, that I'm when I'm doing and hearing, and because this damn thing, it just skips, sputters, and spits out stuff, and this doesn't even, this thing here is the only thing I can get with and I know sometimes when you, it's funny, but then they do shit too you don't aren't even aware of. It's just, it's getting to be where you can't really trust anybody unless that trust has been established over a long period of time. So back to the point, I'm not, every single thing I did, our story, that's what this is, but it's everybody, somebody's going to identify with it. That's the whole thing. If you aren't my wife, then my wife is going to become after that date. That's a date the Lord gave me in my mind. It ain't forcing you into doing nothing any more than I would be forcing you. So no, you're not holding me back. And I had what? What did I have? Like I said, one in the hand is better than two in the bush. And do you know what I've had in my hand? This right here. This is what I've had right here, and this is what I was led to turn to today. This is the scripture verse that I shared here in Ezekiel. Sometimes, and I know you, and I'm not recommending you do this. I shouldn't even be saying this because the Lord set me straight to this a long time ago. It's just I'm somewhere else right now. is when you just grab and just open the book like that, and then see it just flip to, because it might have been a little more dog-eared there, so there's nothing special about that. But just open it up, and in one this thick, and you're hitting it right on the head of stuff you've been then, and then other people are, like I said, I sent that gargoyle home years ago, 5 6 years ago. I sent him home a long time ago. So this fidelity and all this for you, like I said, is not an untransferable gift. It has nothing to do with thread. It has nothing to do, and you may not even understand it. And women might be going, some women might, are you serious? How can you just? Well, that's how could this be happening all this time? Everything that's taken place in the name of carnal love on my plight for my earthly bride, there's been a lot of faith established, and a lot of people are like, wow, this is so many that if you, and you will know, you just stay on the right track. It doesn't matter if you and I are, I've, and I have, by the way, I have sent stuff. When I first got out of prison, I ordered some stuff from you, and I got nothing back there either. And I went on Fox News, and they all know. Everybody knows that I fell in love with you. And so, like I said, it's I'm not gonna be just, that would be unhealthy just for someone to want somebody to, listen, it reminds me of this. Let me get a perfect illustration just came up. I had this crack dealer, and I knew this crack addict. It was moi, right? And I had known him a long time, and him and I had been through a lot of stuff together, and so he would really hook me up. But one day I pissed him off. Excuse my language. I made him angry. And I swear he wanted to see how long me, this fool, was going to sit up there at that 7-Eleven and wait for him. And it just, and once I found out, and I'm not saying you're doing that, I'm just giving, this isn't, I was like, you dirty sucker. Well, I got him, and it was all out of love and stuff. Oh, and he laughed, he chuckled and laughed, and now, of course, none of their crack businesses are running that smooth. Now they've done putting most of the independents. They've got people now that from, who, the old golden calf. Oh, it's all just a big crap party. But I love you, John. Awesome. I love you, Millie. And like I said, I'm not. No, we're all moving along, moving on up to the top. We're just doing it, and this is a vision that I and was confirmed right here, where I'm fixing to go back to, because we're in McNeil still at McNeil. There was a lot more that happened when I was there at Shelton with old Ryan Alwyn, my buddy. God, I that losing that the way I lost that his pledge, his, well, it was a marriage certificate is what it was, is, and will forever be, you see. And it was soon enough that I don't think he spun a cookie too much, to, because the Lord is long, he's patient and long suffering, endures, and his mercy endures forever. But he will not be mocked. Oh, I found that out right away, and his forgiveness will not be. That's why I say, people, you get married. Doesn't matter if you and I aren't. You get married, Millie. Don't be don't you be screwing around. You make sure you figure that out. That I'm gonna let everybody know every single time I come on here. I'll tell you, because that is not gonna be. I'm not sticking my weenie in anybody until I'm married to her. Period. That's not gonna that, and it hasn't been that way in years. And don't think. Whew, oh boy, I'm not even going there, because this is gonna be hopefully a G rated, G plus, or minus a few. So going off the cuff, as I do, and as I love to do, doodah. Today I'm drinking tea, because I think I might have offended myself yesterday. I wasn't quite sure yet. I haven't got the memo. Our God laughs. Oh, Jerry used to say, "Yeah, you're right, Roy. Yeah, tell me we have no God." And he said, and tell me he used to always he would say that to people where and he's just tell me there's no God. I'd be like, yeah, right. Some amazing things I've seen. We're gonna get to Shasta. We're almost up on Shasta County, which I had no idea I had been to before. Now, like I said, I knew I went down to Concord in the back of that camper to return Bonnie back to her life that I've thought that I was kicking it up here. Holy smoke! No, I'm just kidding. I'm not glorifying that. Oh, here comes my son. Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. And I know Mr. L might say, I knew he was going to do that. I just knew he was going to do that. You see, we're on the same page. You can say one thing and you can, but pretty soon, if you deny in front of, ooh, that's not good. But I pick up what you're, and I love you either way. How can you not love? And I'm always going to love you too, Millie. I just ain't going to be in love with you. It'll just be like that. How do I know? I don't know. Shit. You're asking the wrong person about relationships. I got it straight with the good Lord, and that's good enough because these ones over here that I had did not fare so well. And now, not only that, it's trickled down to the here's that third and fourth generation trickled. Here's that kickback. Oh, they're good children. Never been in trouble with the law. Blows me away. And oh, I thank the good Lord. And he says it's those prayers. It was a bunch of other prayers you don't know about yet, but you soon will. Oh, there's power in prayer, people. Faith driven prayer, because that prayer moves mountains. You know why? Because it doesn't just sit there and just pray and just chant and do it moves. It does stuff. It jumps out of boats and it because once it gets moving. And that's what's happening right now. Just like with Casey, he has a thing going in Arkansas. Had no idea about all that. My brother moving to Arkansas, had no idea, and I'm led to get him there. My family here. This is, the owners move back here. They can't sell this place, and it's been on the market for 6 years. I was supposed to get a big money, and I was going to buy this and help people. That's what I was going to do with that 70 million. Oh yeah, that's right. Think I'm kidding? All the other people that would have came forward, the ones that hadn't hurt themselves, or the point where they can't with drugs or whatever, or what would have came out and said, "Hey man, if old Steen can do that, so can I." And you know what? That son of a gun did that to me also. Oh, they'd have been collecting their own food stamps. See, that's why I went, bye bye. We're going to put your, they knew all along from the beginning. See, this place, this state right here is evil. This is an evil hub right here. This portals you would not believe. And I was born right here, led and right into it to be pierced right on out and right around. And that's what's happening. And that's what's going on. Just like the whole gram thing, and the grams have to do with weight too, not just the names of Billy Graham, and although that is exactly what it means also. Like I said, the word is alive and living. It's sharp, sharper than any vadim. See, it's rule. Any sword right here. I gotta call his mother. I keep saying that, but I really do. I have so much. You gotta make time, and when you got all this, and I don't need all that stuff either, sweetheart. I don't need that because but I'm not I'm not a punk, and I'm never gonna be a punk. And my love for you is strong and always will be. And I'll support you. I will. I'll support you. I'll sneak. Don't let the left hand know what the right hand's doing if that's what. But I ain't no punk. If I'm in there and I think I'm gonna slap someone up, and I'll just do it. I'll just do a tongue lash slap up, and it'll be like Marmaduke, just and then it'll be a love lick, and it might whatever. So just watch your p's and q's too, because I don't deserve none of that sideways shit. You know what? You know what comes sideways at me and has been coming sideways. Well, you remember. Huh? A pit or a den of vipers, didn't you say? So, yeah, it ain't no. You're not guilting me into anything I know is plumb true. You can't possibly do that. Matter of fact, for you to even try that right there, you and anybody that wants to step into that ring, you better you're gonna get your clocks cleaned. It's gonna be a just straight. And I'm not threatening you. You'll be fine, but you're gonna be like, whoa, that shit just straight smacked me plumb true again. So, because you wanted to know, just like I did, and he said, "Oh, you want to go ahead and know? You want to go ahead and it can be a real to fall into the hands of the living God. It's love. It has nothing to do with fear. It's not to it's it's a healthy fear. It's like my dog that I just laid to rest, whom I love so much. And please pray for my Aunt Nita, please, Fred's sister. She's doing stuff on Facebook. I need to. I what am I going to do by going over there? What am I going to do? She's just her dementia is gone, and there it is on that third and fourth generation again. So yeah, don't. I love you, and I'm always going to love you, and I'm not trying to scare you because that's not what love does. I mean, it's gonna. If the truth is going to do that on its own, just like truth is going to separate. That's why I said that yesterday. People don't realize that it's not a bad thing. You want that because when you see what these people have been, all the chances that they've been given, and you're going to be like, oh, and you're going to see some pretty horrifying. You see what I mean? But maybe not. So yeah, you guys marry up. If you're fiddle faddling around and you're all that old hoodie out, well, I'm right there with you. Don't worry. It's just a matter of time. And I don't go looking for anything. It's no, it's gonna, it's all. She's becoming my joined hair right now as we speak. If that's not already happened, so that's gonna just. I'm just staying faithful to him, for her, for you guys, for so that we can do this soul salvaging and then get this party started. Because there ain't no party starting yet. There ain't no banquet feast yet, people. I got news for you. Oh, yeah, here it comes. It was a beautiful day starting off this morning. It looks like those clouds rolled in, but they're not going to get beat out by the god Ra. It's it's such a beautiful thing, but something I wouldn't worship. That's why I'm going to rest come sundown, just thanking the good Lord. And I wouldn't go do no Bitcoin stuff. Not that I have the money to do that. It's a coming. But I just don't do any transactions like on offer or anything like that. I don't, because I'm led not to do that kind of stuff. But I'll help somebody. I'll help somebody. I'll help a neighbor, and I'll help. I'll help you. I'll help anybody. If I know that somebody is, it's no. That's what we do. So no, that's not. People get too dogmatic about stuff, and they start getting, and that's exactly how you'll know. You'll know. But you're not out having. You're not. You're focusing on the one that rested also on that. Nothing has changed. I got news for people. Nothing has changed, and it may not. Like I said, it may just not be the thing for you, but for me, it is and has been since I've rolled up into to Reading. But all these things were transpiring. Bob Falk, Lewis Hagler, everything, all of it. Even the thing that Satan used, the dragon used to murder, slaughter, and just senselessly and traumatize the whole tier. The whole tier was traumatized. The guards were gone. These people had seen a lot of stuff, and they just sat. They had to sit and watch that. They had to sit and watch it. And they were gone for a couple. They were gone. I had left, so I didn't know. But they were. I heard her talking. They took a They probably went and shed a few on their. Hopefully, all of them had wives. Yeah, they probably had needed some comforting for sure. But yeah, that was a mess there, boy. That was a mess that had played out and then them sons of bitches put me right in the same cell. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're just for now, but you see the tables have turned now. Who's is that Baccarat or you? I don't know what you guys are. I was listening to my son. If you take your eyes off somebody that you love and you start, and they know you watch, they hear it, and you're doing your stuff and you're trying to, hey, and because I try to look when I'm led to, because it's in my pocket so that I can be doing, I got a lot to do. It means something when somebody is staring at you and is looking at you and paying attention to what you're saying and really cares about what the hell is coming out of your mouth and what you're receiving, vice versa. So, and I like doing that. I've love paying. That's what she used to just. Are you looking at me? Well, I thought I was, but she knew that I was somewhere else. Well, I had to be. I had to literally, and I know now it was a spiritual shift. I had to go somewhere else, or I would have lost it. I might have. Who knows? I don't know what. Who knows? So I was able to get transcend, almost just go move spiritually, and she wasn't able to get that feed off that fear and that loss and that spiritual just like what happens with the Ouija board, which I'll get into that whole thing why I had to sleep in Little Tijuana for a while, and well, it wasn't. I had just made one out of a piece of paper, but I don't want to go too far off. Too far off track. I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going on, and that flipped a couple of them dudes out. Man, they stayed up at night with me and did this, and they said there is no way you could know that. I said, dude, I don't know any of this. I said, this shit's coming through this. And I said, and then after a while, now I know, looking back, it just sucks the energy right out of you. That's what they do. That's what she just wanted, that energy. That's what this wants. Do you think I would be sitting here? I could be up in a, do you know how nice my brother's place has become? Oh, he's just done such a nice job. I told him, bro, when I'm ready, I'm probably going to have a few little tiny houses because I don't want to take up too much. But I don't know. That was back then. Things change. But like I said, that Graham movement and everything, and there, Mike, he laid every single thing out that I had just come and turned myself in for. Everything that I had seen when I was led to write that book. And guess what? A million little pieces. The one that Oprah endorsed on her old book club, her old book endorsement deal, and she was all crying over and stuff. No, it's such a. And the one that, did you do this all on your own? And that's when I looked up. I didn't. I was like, I don't. Why is this? That's when I drew those. Well, I drew a lot of stuff, but the one in particular that I really identify with all of them, but I heard this. You're going to write a book, and I want you to look really close at this man's face. I want you to tell me what you see. And I seen I seen a lie first. What I seen right on his face was a lie. I seen a lie, and then I seen it on in her also. I seen it, but that that whole thing had come full circle on their asses. Excuse my language, but it you know how it does for them fools. You want to talk about shit eaters? Excuse my like. Gosh, I gotta really quit that. I really, really, and some might say, well, then why don't you do it? Well, I guess it's just the intent. So, um, right there in when I was in, right, I believe that's exactly when, or that's when I found out that whole thing was plagiarized. That he had taken eight books or six, seven or eight, I don't know, and plagiarized them. And right then I heard this booming voice talk about their well, here I go again. You want to talk about thunder? There's only happening when it's raining. Oh, beautiful, beautiful rain. This thundering voice said, "Son, and remember the book I told you? Remember Mike?" And I had his number, and I did try to get a hold of him. It's not like I didn't. It's not like the Tammy thing where I said I was going to get a hold of her. I'd already have got to know her, but I blew her off. I actually did try to get a hold of a lot of people, and that's just who I was, and who I always will be. And then sometimes I would let that discourage me, and then I would go back like a dog, just like one that wallers. So I said, don't throw pearl to swine. They'd never. Can you imagine giving a diamond ring, a wedding ring, to a pig? They wouldn't even understand what it is. They would just stomp all up over it. They would have no clue of the value of what that meant. Um. So yeah, it was plagiarized, and all that just flowed, just crashed right on in about Mike and the young man and Ryan, which I still had his birth certificate where he gave his life to Christ. And like I said, it was just, I don't remember exactly, but it was just days before he was murdered, slaughtered, really. And that was designed to make me also just to hate blacks, and which I love. But that's what that was also designed for. Because this guy, now they all carry mace now, all of them. They all carry mace now. And I know that was partly was because of him. And and people die all the time there. There was a guy that was beat up, killed, neck broke, and stuffed up underneath that little desk. And the guy was laying down like, well, we'll just sweep that under the covers, under the rug, like, that maybe that'll just go away on its own. I'm serious. That's what this guy, and they were like, what the? They just snatched him up, and then this guy was many, many just crazy stuff, and then a lot of suicides. Many, 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 many people that don't have the right because they're not. They're just they just get brainwashed, and they end up just checking out. And they'll try and try and try. When they can't kill someone, they'll work hard on getting you to hurt yourself. That's what they do. That's what it does. And that's all it cares about. Even has its own, like I said, conned. There's some of them are waking up already. Those old Changa, those pickup sticks, they're getting. I always thought there was just one black one, but maybe that was just in our set. Maybe we had just lost. If there was more than one, maybe we just lost the other black ones if there were. Anyway, I just get to rambling sometimes, rambling on. Let's see, holding on to sin, pig spam. I am. Oh, that was what he was talking about. Yeah, teaching their own. They bake in here all the time. My son doesn't. He's starting to, but you can't. I've even cooked it for them when they have bacon wrapped in pineapple and they want it out grilled up and stuff, and it's just it pretty. I'm gonna have to say hello to it. Pretty much, kind of. I wasn't in the best frame of mind because I had the old home wrecker that had seduced the old man and was trying to, was actually doing a really good job at making life difficult for me over here with mouth because that's exactly what it intended to do. And I wasn't touching that nasty slee stack, which is, you'd have to see Land of the Lost. But yeah, and not nasty in that sense, but when you see, because I don't go for the what look on the out what I see out there. I look at what's in there. I don't do that. Otherwise, I'd have been hooked up a long time ago, right? I wouldn't have been. Yeah, people, they love you. They think they're doing good by you go down to visit with them. They have someone there, and that they think it's But when you and it's a nice gesture and stuff, and oh yeah, that's. But I know I've gotten. I plan on getting where I'm going, and where the reason I'm where I'm at is because I've done what I've been asked, and so that's exactly what I intend to do. And this birthday, I don't really celebrate birthdays because I wasn't ever intended to. I never felt worthy of it. But this one, I'm going to, and I hope it's us. If not, we'll still, like I said, we're still gonna. You ain't holding. You've never held me back at all, not even a little bit. Because I have enough faith and know that would have. I just know because I've never felt anything like that in my life before ever. So I know that if the Lord can allow me, after all I've seen and all I've been through and all the people I've brushed shoulders with, oh, if you only knew. Oh yeah, want to talk about a fox in a hen house? Oh yeah, oh yeah. But nope, I choose life, and I'm doing what of the Lord, and I know that He's already. Oh, son, you're on the money, son, on the money. There's that fish with the golden coin, and it hasn't messed me up yet, little Missy, and it's not gonna. I'm not gonna be tripped up by it now. You or anybody else could ever. Are you serious? You're talking with the messenger of the Most High. Are you serious? Have you been paying attention? Oh yeah. There's truth, logic, and common sense, and love is love. But then, after a while, oh yeah, you can play that song over and over again because I'm not letting any. Are you serious? Have you been paying attention again? Have you? Because and another thing, if you would have thought that I would just continue with some cyber fantasy land hokey pokey, I don't know if you want to call that a relationship. It starts somewhere, and yeah, after a while, hey, it's all cute, fine, and dandy, but then it would get pretty fucking weird. You know what I mean? And that would say a lot about you, actually. And I'm not even there. I'm beyond that. I've graduated those cookies. We're done eating that batch of dough. That shit got thrown out a long time ago. Of course, people, they don't leave. They make just the other day. I mean, and this is everything's a true story, and it's how you take it. So how you take it. Remember the response to the response, or you just watch. That's why they're trying to be so careful on what they do and say now, but they can't help it. They're still counting. Do you know they're still counting the votes or people that wanted Trump? Do you know that? Oh, Sir Trump, Spirit interprets Revelation. That's because that's exactly what was going on. That's exactly. Do you know? Here, let me show you here. You know how many plagues and look at how many sevens there are in Revelations. Just take a look. Take a look at the trumpets, and that's what they're counting. He got more votes. Oh, you made us think. I didn't make you think anything. And I'm not talking about you in particular because there's other people that are watching this also. I didn't make you think anything. If I would have showed you what I seen, which I wasn't, you would have been, you're out of your fucking mind. And then now you would have been like, oh man, because trust is earned, and I myself wouldn't have believed it. I still was like, God, there's got to be no. Why? And just keep praying. Keep praying. And I'm going to show you what your prayer, I'm going to show you what being on your face does for you. It's going to shine on you, son. You, son. I'm going to use whom I choose. Before you were formed, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations. Nations. Well, this is it. This is all right here. And if this doesn't get, and that's, you want to talk about your gut feeling, well, then you go for it. You're not holding me back from nothing. Like I said, I would have sent you I would have said, well, this is, and you don't think that I've already, after I've announced to the world? Oh, don't think that there's people that don't already. Oh, yeah. And this song is about me this time. And we're talking the main vine. We want to talk about vein. We're talking about, yeah, and I'll probably play that. The only one I don't like the hell yeah. I didn't know it was said that, just like I didn't know it said pussy cow, pussy cow, pussy cow. But it said go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal. Are you serious? They can play this stuff? So you got to be careful on what you hear and what you see. That's why I've been doing this also, not just for you, but for all of us. You were just the target so that other people could see what faith in motion is going to get you. Chew. You see what I'm saying? Or not. There ain't no love lost. If that's the case, there ain't no love lost. Unless that's how you feel. But still, you're going to just sit and waller in your own little pity pill. Pop in your own little pity pills. Just let it go and move on then. Just like you're kind of, and then I felt it. Then once I got ready for I felt my heart just to going like, oh shitty. And I could be getting this completely wrong, but here I'm going to share this with you as my chest is still all eaten up from that nair. Oh, it's for sensitive skin. Yeah, right. Might as well have been more magic shave. Oh, Steen, man, we would have told you, fool. Uh, you should have woke me up. Oh, I'm not gonna wake your ass up. They're snoring and wake a big sleeping bear up. Hell no. You guys have been treating me good, trading me your stuff for my desserts, because I didn't ever think I deserved eating my dessert. I always traded them. I didn't know why. I know now. Isn't that crazy? Never ate any. Didn't no. Yep. Never ate any of them. Always traded them. Gave them away. Hey, that's my cousin, man. Hey, man, come on, Steen, man. You and I were, man. We've been since we were this big. Oh, big bird. Yeah, I'm not sweating that, sweetie. I don't do that, and it's not about. It's not about It's not about being calloused or anything like that. It's about looking at and becoming who we are, and it's all good. And I don't think that was colloidal silver I ordered from you, but it was something. And I think you were still with old Ajax. Remember when that old lady she in a, oh, where have you been all my life? She was it's so funny. Won't get high, won't get high. Oh, Ajax. Yeah. So, and that's just where it is in a nutshell, right there. And I love you, Trey. I really do. I love all of you. All that stuff. When we go on this journey, people are going to be like, "Damn, that fool was, man. If that's love, whew, man. Do you know how many people are going to be? And you're not going to like this. Are going to be lining up. Of course, the Lord's going to bring me, and there, she's going to be the right one. So I'm not, a slave of some psychological fucking mind trip, guilt trip, or some stuff. Because believe me, I've been fighting long and hard and been through all that so that I could bring to you this message here. You see, whether you like the truth or not, it's just the way it is. You cannot like it at all. You cannot believe it, cannot accept it, but It is what it is. And what is it? It's plum truth, sister. Plum truth. You want to talk about a loser? I remember when someone did that to me. You want to talk about, and I'm not talking about you being a loser. Don't. I had someone's sister say that to me, and then she ended up wanting to sleep with me after a while. And she hated my guts. Oh, she hated my guts. But she knows who she is. All of them did. The mother, the sister, both sisters, the aunt. I'm just some little old dude. All of them. All of them did. Every one of them. Now, why would you say that, Roy? That would seem really arrogant and kind of self righteous. No, I'm just letting you know that I know who I am in Christ. I have integrity and I know how to bow out gracefully. I understand what it is to say enough's enough, which really is it's HR puffin stuff is what it is. It's all just wolf tickets. I don't get caught up in no mental masturbation crap. I don't get caught up in that kind of stuff. I'm not into that kind. I've never even. That's why the Lord is using me also. Partly, it's because I've got integrity in ways that you may never even you will. And so, do you think that I'm going to compromise that too? After I've told all the whole world, do you think that I'm just going to let them know, hey, this is the way? They're going to be like, oh yeah, that happens. But wow, you really stuck it out, young man. Well, if you don't first succeed, well, try and try again. And he sure did. He sure did. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. Exactly. Exactly. And guess what? My Heavenly Father is going to make good because I made good in all the faith that has been established right now. None has been lost, all has been gained. And we're not talking that shit and all that dumbass had. We're talking about the all that old Sting had, the old Dawn, the new stuff. Huh? This is the new stuff. I go dancing in. He goes dancing. Won't you show for me? I like old Peter. You know, I helped write some of them songs, believe it or not. Didn't even realize it. A lot of things you're going to come to realize, whether we're, unified that way or not. Because quite frankly, that might be for the best. Honestly, this is what I'm kind of thinking because you've known this long. I've went this hard and maintained this integrity, couth and character. And there's a lot of establishing things that have been taking place, and I can feel it right now as we speak. Because there's a lot of us speaking right now, a lot of us. Then, so be it. Then, but I am a man of my word, and in the beginning, I remember he said, "Before I formed you, I knew you." Knew is, was, and will be. Don't put old old or new wine in old wine. I was thinking of that this morning, and I didn't know why. And I was thinking, Father, what's that? I know back in the day they would use the gut of and they would put the wine and it would expand because of the fermentation, and it would burst the old wine skins. I get that. I also get what it means not to look on it when it shines, shimmers, and only to give hard drink to. So it's in there. It's in there. But I didn't really wasn't quite getting, and I'm still in the process of receiving. And some of you might say, well, that's a real easy one, Mr. Steen. That's a real easy one. Just like it's easier for a needle, a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. And it was told to me that the eye of a needle is, like in a palace. And I really believe, Mr. Carrico, you're onto something. Is like almost like a spade card, and they pack their camels so full of their greed that they can't, you know, or in or out or whatever, and so threading the eye of the needle. But I don't know about that. It might be that. It might be something other than that also. That and something else. Anyway, those things just came to mind. And I just want to say, Mr. Carrico, I I'm heading that way. I'm almost certain. And and that's why I said if I got confirmation that I was going to be going up to Ohio, that's exactly what I would be doing if I'm led, because I'm going to be visiting there anyway. I'm sure there's a lot of good people up there, and I do want to make you that salmon dinner regardless. Um, but that's going to be after some other things take place. That's why I said that, because I looked, I thought, oh wow, that's only 600 miles, and and there's other people within that vicinity I need to see and make rounds. That vision was of like the journey buses. They were going around in this. It was a grand movement. It was way bigger. It was incredible. The prisons opened up. They literally they had to. It was getting to be so big with the. It was a crew of people, and it was almost like I said, it was like a play. It was like, and he hit it right on the head. We all gave different testimonies. Everybody had their own talents and gifts, and all this healing was going on, and things that were taking place, and casting out of demons and things that were just happening. They were just happening. It was a big gathering, and is was it always will be, and just this nomadic movement, and all this, and then fun too. And but I seen all this, fishing and having fun. People, you meet people. You need your back cracked. You got doctors that are, you need your teeth. You aren't paying for anything because the Lord is providing it through these people that are. It was amazing, but yet all this money was flowing, and money. He said, "Oh, you're going to need 3 accountants to keep each other. You're going to need some." And see, I'm not one to fly. I'm not because, like I said, I know people that have family that work at Boeing, or did. Forgive me, but can you see what they tried to fly into me over here? These yahoos, when that was right before I handed myself over. That's what that was. They were going to cut right on over. Yep. And I would have never known about that because I didn't watch, but it was brought to my attention. So I just went out and I picked my nuts off the tree. I forgot what the filberts or whatever they're called. That's slipping my mind now. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But yeah, no. So there ain't nothing going to be lost. I'm not. You. A matter of fact, if you start getting that way and stuff, then it's gonna bet. Then things like, you sit and you wait and you see how I'm gonna respond, and then you're gonna, because you don't want to put your foot too far out. I know exactly everything I need to, and you're not hiding anything from me. You're not doing anything that, I can see everything that I need to, and I'm not. It's not. It's just just live a life of truth, and prosperity is will become you. You already know. You've had a display of what's going on, and so you can play, you can continue. I'm not. I just don't. I'm not into that. It just start. That's why I never really liked Foreigner much. Uh, it's just a head trip. It's I just don't like. I just didn't. I never really cared for him anyway much. Um, So I'm more the a lot. I'm really for the underdog. I like a lot of one hit wonders also, because you just kind of wonder where that Wonder No More, oh Wonder Woman. It's the lasso of truth. Talk about a little gold strand. Just wonder no more, woman. Just wonder. Well, how can you wonder? It's been pretty obvious. So, yeah, you can't. You're not going to be able to hide behind that one's going to talk about strip poker. Well, there goes that one. It's there you stand right there, naked. God, I am kind of. Should I guess the old clock is a ticking because we were only given what 120 years until we get new bodies and stuff. But so you can do what you want with you can anyway. So where were we at? So yeah, that old plagiarized, and I went, whoa, that was some heavy, heavy stuff. He said, yeah. And I said, so again, what that the book you said you was going to have me write. He said, no, that I was going to use you to write. You mean it's going to be a story that everybody can identify, and it's going to be one that's going to perpetuate souls out of the wrecking yard that I could restorate. Isn't that nice? All these tow truck drive, and you just old Joey. Joey used to run his own Cedar Rapids. He's now fiber optics. He started his own company, and yeah, you'll just start just blending with people that you'll never have to do anything. You need surgery on something, and there it is until you won't have to pay nothing for it. See, that's how it works. You want to talk about the barter system. You want to talk about capitalism. You want to talk about the way the Christ-like system and currency and everything should flow. Just everybody will just you need a little this or a little of that, and then when you need something that's not going to be able to heal, you just and then if you don't get healed by it, well, you're not meant to. You're supposed to. That's a thorn in your side, and you got to live with it and just thank the good Lord for it. That's what you got to do, just like I do with my back every single day. Every day that I'm like, wow, and other things I've said, Lord, can't you? He says it's a thorn in your side. It's a consequence to your action. This is something to keep you, to remind you. I said, well, this is kind of borderline torture. And see, that's what that would be. If I was to continue to go on past my birthday, come on, that would be. I might as well just go string a damn rope over there and be like the rest of the fools that they wanted to keep this story from bringing out of the woodwork. Pun intended, and not even intending. That's just how the Lord works. He's willing vessels, instruments, vehicles, conduits, vessels. Clay to a seal, either seal or a mark. It's just, and you can be sealed without me right there, so don't worry about it. You just got to adhere to the truth that you're staring right at. That's all you got to do. You just got to know, and you got to go through instead of over, under, and around. And you got to get off the shitter. You got to get off the shitter because it's none of that's gold underneath you. That's it. All stinks. It all stinks. And you wonder, why would they do that? Why would they banquet on that? Well, everything they do is a mock, and it has them. It's mocking them. It's literally, that's why it doesn't even know. Or they don't even know what it really has planned for them. Some of them are starting to wake up. It's the biggest double, triple cross you've ever seen. And he's like, just shut up. Just shut them up. And they just keep counting. Had more votes than any president in history in people's mind. People that were afraid to go down there. And I don't consider it that. That's the second time you've heard me say that. You'll probably never hear me say that again. But in history, because of the idea, just like that old Q-tip, sometimes it's best, especially with children, just irrigate their ears. Or that little, that's what I use on my children. I never stuck anything in their ear. Are you kidding me? I seen some guy tape up a cell of a child molester from White Center, this old biker that I knew real well. Yeah. He was my cellie. He moved in with me, old Doug. So they couldn't get in when he started hollering, and he got his eyes, his ears, and he was going to get his tongue so he couldn't see, hear, or speak, but let him live. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Because when they get in there, even fake paperwork, You can't hide him. And they were waiting for that dude. They were waiting for him. And he molested the wrong person's daughter. Now, do I agree with everything? No. But they had to cut away that. They had to cut away that. What he tied up there. Deaf, dumb, and blind kid. Sure playing's a mean pinball though. I used to play pinball all the time if I could get money. And the skate rink. Southgate was right there in the rat trap. My mom and Sue and all of them, they were all up there after my dad. All of them. They were in one of them 5 or 6 taverns there. And we get quarters and play. And I got good enough. You could hear that thing crack, 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 clack, 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 clack. And I'd just play I had, yeah, now I'm bragging, but it seemed like that was it, you know. Sometimes that ball, they had it lined up. They think they're slick, but that ball would just float right past them magnets, just float right past. Oh, they would pop right out. You know how they do, you guys, suck that money out of you. No, no, we was sucking it out of them. No, we were putting a thump into those machines, and everybody's looking around. Where the hell is that coming from? They're all lined up. Then they go by, and you finally get tired. You just leave all them games on there for people. So, let's see, where was that before I started bragging? Tommy boy. Tommy, he should be getting out hopefully soon. Tommy Schwartz. He's got a home to go to. Went down to Florida. Up here, him and I told you one of my best friends that I never thought I'd see. Fuck, I can't believe, excuse my language, I just can't believe it. He went down there to try to cook up a little batch of meth, and yeah, it didn't work out so good in Florida. Remember where him and my brother went down and robbed that house for that cockatiel? Same exact one that she was holding in Belladonna. Tried to steal that. Got caught. A long time ago when he beat up that dude tried to rob him, and then had the guy drive by and roll down the window and said get off him. My brother just mopped his ass up real quick. This little guy probably did not expect that, and because they were just heading to Sarasota, they were just on a little layover. But so yeah, he'll have a house to come home to. He went down and tried to do a little batch down there, and that didn't work out so well. He got overtime. He really did. It didn't matter I don't care what he was doing. You ain't doing what these fags are doing. Excuse my language. Those little punks here bringing in all of your little people that you are rah for. They're bringing in all that shit. They got it all coming from China. Most of it, all China. I told you that a long time ago, years ago. I told you guys that. Believe it or not, it's coming from China. That's what all that, what was for. Patriot Act, get people all to go over and steal the oil, the opium poppies, to set for this wham bammy that they've been doing for a long time, to get all of it, to get it all. And then blood sacrifice. Oh, and there's just some weird. You want to know what they old one in the hands better two in the bush. You know what they buried him with? You know what they buried his young one of his. They're sick. These people are. I'm not interested in what you think you've seen happen there. These people, these are sick individuals, and they know that it's just a matter of time. But they've been bamboozled also. But most of them, it's just they're so far that they're like I said, and a lot of your guys is that pride and ego is going to keep you in that tailspin. You got to get out of it. You got to get right. Oh, he's my enema. This country just got one, and it was all just part of the pipe smoking plan. Oh, he's smoking big pipe. He's smoking big chief 'em, puff 'em, big 'em. Oh yeah, they ain't hiding none of that gold from me or any of us. It's all ours. It's funny, really. What do you try to hide our gold? They're just like, Keystret, hurry up! They're coming. Just get it up there. No, duh, Ralph. Put the heat under it. We'll melt it away. And then you start to see through it all. You start to see through it all. It just becomes transparent. Oh, I love you, Casey. Oh, yeah, we'll be meeting. And all of you that warm up that chat, what a blessing. And thank you, Tori, for dropping. I wasn't able to see it. I had to get busy. I had to finish up my. Thank you for what you're doing. And I'm not gonna. Don't worry. I'm not gonna leave you all. Just. And I, like I said, when I get there, the good Lord willing, I'll actually, providing you're doing what it looks like you're becoming. You guys are on. You guys, I'm proud of you guys. I love you guys. Awesome music, awesome this and that, everything. Now your intent might be, you might be poking the line a little bit, but I think after this you're gonna understand, and I'm hoping that you're wise enough to stop that, because you know that I love you. So I'll support even financially as much as I possibly can, and I'm not the one's gonna, hey, Canny, look at this, look what I'm not one of them. So, I'll hit and run in that sense, because I see what you're becoming and what's happening, and it's awesome. But love will be there if you went right back to a like a dog to its crotch, you know, just hooding that, just where there's just, it's just completely, sensitivity is just, you can go back to whatever you want. Love will always be there. It's the sin that separates people from the love, and at what point does that happen? Like I said, that's a case by case basis, but it does happen. Yeah, if and they and oh yeah, they can manipulate and say, once you have a relationship, that's not going to happen anymore, because you're going to absolutely be one of the best host and hostesses of the Holy Spirit, that, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't look right. Like when I was listening to that guy, and on the deal, and I was walking by, I tried to have this cranked up. And then I came in and something about the eyes, and I go, yeah, they're right. The eyes are the window of the soul. And I looked up and I go, oh, this guy's eyes are bugged right out, but they're not, it doesn't line up with what he's saying. And so the Lord said, just go about with what you're doing. Don't be caught up in there. These are all these little funky little lures that they got going. And I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yes, son, just. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have it. And he goes, no, go back to what you were doing. That's why you can't. Don't let me be the, oh, no, 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 no. And had what? Had nothing that didn't try anything. So, and I understand that little secret. No, 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 no. You're not gonna. No, hey, how you doing, and then you just ignored me. Oh, you got, who the do you think you? I am just some cluster of grapes that are hanging out of some punk's ass that you had a little fling or had got a little. You better think twice and be real nice, because Santa Claus is coming to town. You get it? So I'm glad you're paying attention. I really am. I really am. And just don't take my kindness as weakness, or that I don't know, because I don't say so. Reaping what we sow, and I'm counting on that today. What says you? And so if you're comfortable with that, then everything's good. And that's all, then that's it. But yeah, so yeah, love can be a real complicated thing if you complicate it. A real simple thing if you simplify it. So pardon me, I didn't mean that. So yeah, oh yeah, I'm in love with you, Millie. Very much. But like I said, my birthday, this is the year that I'll be celebrating my birthday. And I know you might even have thought, well, you should have already celebrated, because I think that's what that might have been yesterday. I don't know. Like I said, the Lord he does things sometimes that you might think, well, that's just a delusion. Yeah, it would have been that way if I was on their damn medication they wanted years ago, and thank God I took that so in immediately that that could have never even possibly had any kind of lasting effect on me. The only thing that they tried was what they did to me as a young man, and that stuff stopped once I got back from California on that trip, and I had no idea that I had ever been to Pat, the father of little Mike. I think his name was Michael that pulled that deep fryer down. I know for a fact Pat, that was his name. That was Lester's uncle and Ted's biological brother that lived over in Springwood area up there by the pig farmer by Alan Jones. Um, and they had to fly him. The neighbors were even talking about the helicopter that had to come down and land and fly him off. And then my cousin Kim did that, lighting her onesie on fire and got a lot of money, sued and got a lot of money. And I forgot to tell you, I ended up seeing her full circle. God, now I got completely off track. I forgot to add that I seen her when I was my mom brought me in. She always did that when there was like some job that needed to be done. Anyway, they were selling fruit over in Newport, Washington, which straddled straddled and I kissed her. This wasn't even in the book. I gotta add this though real quick before I forget, and then probably write that down. Well, it's going to be on here. Hopefully, I don't know when I move because I got to hurry up. Oh shoot, I got to hurry up with this stream because there's 2 days left of the month, and then we get more. But because the baby boy has his own thing, he's brainwashed on the stuff he watches. The my 4-year-old grandson. My daughter's always streaming on hers. My son's here now, so he's constantly streaming on his. I'm on here watching the. You get what I'm saying, and then oh yeah, and then the phones and all everything. So it's yeah, it's a bill that you wouldn't want to see. This bills that you wouldn't believe come up out of this joint. And if it wasn't for people, it's just and thank you, Father, for the money. So in which I'm still waiting for unemployment to, but I think I'll be all right once they verify my identity. But then again, these people are man. If it wasn't for my friends up in higher places here that know this evil crap that's going on is going on, I would be kind of a little dead in the water. I wouldn't have been able to send that letter off, Melly. I wouldn't even been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to spend 26, 27 bucks I just couldn't. I wouldn't be able to do that. Um, at this point, otherwise, yeah, that's no problem. So I got to hurry up and get this going. But yeah, that's amazing, Casey. We're all going to be meeting. Amazing things are happening. I got to get rolling on this. So I want to finish what I was saying about the Newport thing, and then back on when I was at McNeil, so I can get through this. I'm going to try to keep this under 2 hours because I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, you guys, for another couple days until the month rolls around. So they called me in to help them. We went and got a bunch of fruit in Yakima, which my buddy up here does, and a lot of my friends do, and then sell it over here, which I earned to get to go down to see you, Millie, and Dickweed, and crew, uh, and talk about things that I've seen that we would have ended up talking about, and you would have been, oh my God, are you serious, Roy? And I would have been, or Donnie, whatever you would have called me, or you would have just said, well, get the hell away from me or something. But we would have, at least I would have known, and I would have been moving on up. Anyway, I would have been moving on up anyway. I'm just saying. Just saying. Oh, I love that when he said that. Um, so we're picking fruit. We're at the getting all the fruit. Sometimes we're going up in the hills and getting the wild blueberry and huckleberries, which sold for just an amazing amount of money. You had to fight the bears over. That's why I knew once I got up to Minnesota not to fool around. I'm glad their dogs followed me up. Not only followed me up, they swam out there to that island with me. God, the most beautiful clear lake. Um, So that we're getting a bunch of fruit. We're selling on the side of the road, literally right across the street from Safeway, and they're hating us because the fruit is so much, and all the tourists are there. We're just making, well, they're making a killing. I'm not making anything, except I'm getting a nice tan, and which it'll be happening here before too long. I'll be getting all juiced up and tanned in. The good Lord willing. They're working hard on trying to put it out, aren't they? But we got something for them. We got something for the ass. That damn devil. Um, so we're making money hand over fist. They don't even want us to use their. We can't use the Safeway's bathroom. Anybody else? They see us come in. Nope, you guys cannot. If you're here to use the, so we had to get a porta potty brought in, and was just money hand over fist. And I remember I got this gold watch and this gold bracelet, and I was at the lake. One night I was at the lake and I was partying with some people down there. And the carnival had come in. I was actually partying with some carnies too. They were all telling me, and they said, "Man, why don't you go with us, man? You'd love it, man. You really would. You do good here, man." And you know how you're getting drunk, you're like, "Yeah, we're going to California," like I've done many times, and then start to sober up down in. You get almost into Oregon, and you just start to sober up just enough to go, "Hey, man, what the fuck are we doing? We're going home. That's what we're doing. Hey, wake up, fool. We're going home. Are we in California?" Anyway, so come on, you could do. And I don't know. I don't think of. And then here comes Kim, my cousin. She comes. She's at the bar. She's like, "Hey, Donnie, what's going on, man?" I give her a hug. And she has a house. She bought a house there in Newport. "What are you doing, man?" And I said, "I'm selling fruit with Billy and Bill." Lil, he called her Lil Billy, and he actually called her Fluff. And I won't tell you right now because I have to use the F word, and I do not want to have to drop that. They just hated each other. And this is before I knew what he was doing to my brother, because I was just in and out. I was on the streets, in and out of the juvenile institutions, and scout surfing and doing whatever I was dysfunctionally doing. And so I'm gonna have to get some warm coffee here pretty soon, but I'm gonna have to get through this real quick because we're pressed for time. That's what that little text from Mouth was yesterday, and I don't mean to disrespect her, because if I was disrespecting her, I'd be hitting that stuff, and then that would be disrespecting my wife, and that's why I shouldn't be disrespecting you after a certain time by saying because I do love you, but I'm going to just say love you, because I love you is not. And the Lord's going to have to fix that, and He said, "Don't worry, we'll get to that bridge when we get there." And it's not over troubled water. Either it's going to be just smooth sailing. I'm going to be able to see my reflection in it, and all is going to be well. It ends well, because it's just the beginning anyway. Um, so she ends up buying a nice house there. She's into drugs. I can clearly see she was into drugs, and but moved away from the house there up in mid Federal Way, where that road back down to Dash Point, where my dad died, uh, wasn't very far from where she grew up. They all, like I said, grew up in the diving world and riding motorcycles and stuff. She was kind of a tomboy, real neat cousin to have. But yeah, they had to do surgery on her as she was growing up too, because she couldn't grow into her own leathery skin. It was really a tragedy. But yeah, so Ted, and he was adopted, but his real brother and then mother lived in Anderson. I had no idea. And then we're going to be getting to some real amazing some stuff that even just a little, just when it started unfolding down there, I can remember it blowing my mind. This whole revelation just completely just blowing my mind away. I couldn't believe it, and I knew then that's how I'd been healed from cancer. And he says, "Oh, this is a process, and you need to stay awake. You need to stay ready. You need to stay healthy." And then, of course, the time goes by, and you start to get complacent. Oh, that's how it gets you. Feeling real good when I got my surgery. My hands weren't, because I was making them long drives, and they were just thump, thump, thump. And I'm like, I'm tired of this. And the doctor said, "Well, if you're tired of this happening all these years, I can help you because this test is showing that you are." He goes, "Yeah, this is what it's supposed to sound like. This is ridiculous. You're almost one of for your age. I've never heard anybody that's had nerve damage this bad. What the hell were you doing?" I said, "Well, they had me out in the woods flip flopping damn logs, so I could go get some stinky finger down there." At when I was in Toutle River down at the skating rink with Lori Reynolds and trying to sneak out into the, and if Ben Pearl was on a good nod, I'd be able to make it out to the damn uh, the van. So from the Reynolds Empire that I was cutting wood for when we were cutting alder poles, doing pecker poles, we called them, to stir the molten pots of aluminum. They did something with the. I was supposed to go back and meet up with her too, and I never did because I got right back into crap again. Once I left, I had that she just it was just a I wasn't in love with her. But yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't, but it's just my story. So I'm not trying to make it just, that's just it. And that, like I said, once I get solidified, completely locked in, I guess, one thinks he is, but then I'll have to not, and my intention isn't to hurt anybody, but I just realized that that could possibly be happening, although it is my story. And so because you've been hearing my story, but yet you haven't said anything, then I'm going to have to assume that you just, so it's not going to bother you. And again, it's not to hurt you. It's just there's a lot of stuff I've left out, and a lot of stuff that I will leave out because it's just not right. It's just not, and it's not. I'm not. These people aren't my future wives, and I'm not going back to relive that anyway. That would be pretty much mild pornography, and I'm just not. That's like that Fruit Loop that was that Satan was in. Entertaining his little diddling with his whoever it was. Um, which I got to tell you another story once I wrap up the deal before long. Leonard Daniels, I got to write this down from Echo Glen. Leonard, uh, hold on just one moment because this is really important. Oh man, another damn miracle I just forgot about from Echo Glen. Skip Butler wasn't his counselor. It was Leonard's counselor was Walter. It was Walter. That's right. It was Walt. So if anybody wants to check this stuff out, oh yeah, but we don't need to now with all the stuff because yeah. Leonard Daniels. Leonard Daniels was his name. He's dead of AIDS now. Oh yeah, real sicko. In there for major child molestation and rape. Daniels. Seen him later on. You won't believe what happened. Leonard Daniels. Walt, counselor. I forgot to add that. He was a little rat too. He was a rat. Ended up being the manager of my apartments, and then and was doing stuff to kids there too. Yeah, yeah. I about killed this guy. I shouldn't say that. I really didn't. I never didn't even put my hands on him, but I was going to really just get rid of this feller because my son that I had just gotten was running around in that very. Remember I told you when I got, what was his name? He ended up marrying that young girl, the one that had the tower next to Bates when I was in the overflow at Tacoma at the Armory. Chris Nias. Oh, thank you, Lord Jesus. Oh God. And this is why you're getting this hot off the grill. And Missy, this is why you're not gonna have to worry about it. Eh, you ain't no, we're moving mountains, wit or wit out. So Chris Nias. I'm gonna Google him because they told me to when I was in prison. Oh yeah, he still rents out all this stuff and he remembers you, Roy. Chris Nias. He called me Donnie though. Nias. I'm gonna have to guess that one. But if I get it close enough to sound it out, and then I'll just Google him. Okay, Chris Nias, and then he moved us to his other apartment, and that's when, because he lived on Bainbridge, he had a battle, beautiful home. He owned a bunch of stuff. Matter of fact, I seen his old maintenance man. Oh, what was it? He looked like the little. Seen him too. Oh, spun out, but he could trust him. He could trust him, so he let him pretty much remodel that whole thing and a bunch of his other houses. What was his name? Because he's going to she'll know, Tawana will know, because they kind of became friends because I went to jail. I ended up going to jail too not long after that. I went to jail for 4 months because I went and got my brother out of prison after I picked that lock to that safe. Got all that thousands of dollars. I didn't take all that money though. I left him several thousands, so almost 10 grand. I left him. I just took enough for the truck and then picked my brother and ended up going to jail. He took my truck home. See, I forgot to tell you about a lot of stuff. Chris Nias. Chris Nias. Of course, he tried to flirt with Tishia, his her sister, Tisha, they call her. And that's the only reason why I friended that she was doing the little unboxing the makeup thing. It's like, I'm not interested. No, 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 no. The Lord has somebody for me, and Nias, and then who else was it that I was gonna? It'll come in a minute. Yeah, he had, and so he was there. So he was never there, is what I'm saying. He wasn't like a manager that was on site. He was the owner, and he got this guy. I don't know how he had this Leonard Daniils get in there, but man, and this was a big apartment complex. But when I found out this new deal, because I stuck to myself. I went to I could do the flea market stuff, this and that, but I stuck to myself. And I'd let my son go out and play, because he'd play with the kid, a lot of black kids and stuff. But he didn't matter, and the neighbors. So my right immediately neighbors knew me because I played my music loud. And then so then we went at it a little bit and then ended up loving each other because that's really that's what you have to do or not. No one's going anywhere, so our kids would play with each other. And so yeah, but when I found out they had the, hey, did you hear about the guy, and there and he's got my kid on they time out or something, or and he's part responsible for evictions. Of course, they have to go through Chris. Oh, thank you, Lord, for she'll know that guy's name because he used to always come over and get huge rats that were in that place when we were up on Yakima across from Bates. She'd go down to St. Leo's and feed my boy because like I said, we had just gotten him. I'm already messing up. This is what you do when you're not seeking ye first the kingdom. St. Leo's, the one I'd take my to the pet haven. That's why my dog didn't have it, because I'm not paying that shit. I'm not registering my dogs. What do you mean? My dogs had a vet down there in Reading. They all got dipped. I spent thousands on them dogs. Oh, they loved going to that vet. The vet loved them. All of them. They knew Buster. Buster was one of the other ones I got from the litter. Oh God, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Oh, I'm gonna be a flick snitch because it's all a miracle. Anyway, so seen her at the thing, Kim, she'd already of course grew into her skin now. So I asked her, are you done with your surgery? She goes, oh yeah, I got done with them. So I thought about Mikey. I thought about Mike and him pulling that deep fryer down. That's why just last night I'm turning the damn things around. And I just, and I seen somebody on her chat today say, yeah, a multitasking. Oh, sweetheart, if you only knew. Oh, if you only knew. And I'm not trying to brag. It's just I'm going to be like this until the day I lay to rest. If he doesn't come back through us before then, I literally, I will. And my even my own biological father down here, for said, Dad, Donnie, he was out there every day. He just, because he didn't have a, and like he said, it made him, and I knew that feeling. It made your little spot of where you're out feel good to come home to, because you weren't in it, you weren't there. Get out and do something, even if it's in your damn yard. Do something. But you can't do it if you're on someone's podcast and they're trying to take cheap shots at you. You can't take cheap shots at perfect, it's a reflection that's becoming, something you're going to want to gaze in. And I'm telling you right now, it's, all this is fair in love and war, yes, but man, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess, right? And I don't mean that in a sexual way. I don't even know why I said that, because I don't even truly know what that means. Well, my mom used to always say it. Probably it's something to do with cheating. I've tried to figure it out, but I don't know what a gander is. And we've had geese, and I know what those are. He got two walking up Myers Way from South Park when we had the farm. This guy he just and these were big geese. These were big geese. He just snatched them up by their necks, just put them in. They loved him after that. They loved him. The only thing that died on that farm was them damn pigs. I mean goats. I mean, well, those pigs never messed with him again. Anyway, so she was done with that. They ended up they were done using me there. I didn't get any money out of that. But I just want to know. I seen her. I ended up seeing her just out of nowhere, just at a party, just completely out of nowhere. She's we'd lost contact, touch with as family members, as you do, and you just because people they don't make time. They got the enemy's just got everybody so caught up. Instead of making time, even if it's just one day, to just say, hello, I love you, I was thinking about you, because you have thought about them. You can't say you haven't thought about people in your past, win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, that you haven't, thought about somebody. And so if you have, and I think about my cousin Willie. I thought about him, you know, and it hurt me that he ended his life, you know, that now he's never gonna experience eternity. And he's such a good man. Oh, if you only knew him. Well, you're gonna get to know him when you see his whole life story flash in front, and you're gonna understand why it is he's gonna burn and then mock, because he threw in the towel. And this man was so good. I would have never ran to his house when we were being chased by the helicopters and everybody. We had nowhere else to go. He just was. It was just that crap hitting the fan, and it hit an unintended target. But that was the sight when that German Shepherd got Tim. They sent Zeus after us. Old Zeus. Talk about a wizard. Anyway, so yeah, that guy there, he ain't putting my kid on no timeout. He died. He died not long. I ended up telling people, and he was like, and I said, if you say one word to me, I'm gonna snatch you. And he got to be a pretty big kid, but I said, listen, I said, if you say one word to me, I said, because obviously you haven't even. I said, I didn't even say all that to him. He knew. He was able to read my mind like Helen to Braille. Oh, Helen. Oh, he was reading it. And I knew he was a monster then, and he hadn't changed his ways. And he could have almost got his hands on my beloved little Donnie. For Donnie? For Donnie. Oh, no. No, he would have, yeah, it would have been over. It would have been all over. Game over. GameStop. Game over. No, it wouldn't have been good at all. Yeah, I started to get real sharp. A lot of no, she's with me, so I didn't create a scene. A lot of them went on too. I didn't. I know now why. It was always there. I just didn't see it. And yeah, of course, there it's manifesting more of that death and destruction through that child rape, molesting. It's everything. It's all of that. It starts right within the children with what they see. What they eat, what they see, what they're breathing. All of it, drinking every single thing right there. There's the starter pack, John Hall. There's the starter pack. There it is. You hit it. You hit it right on the head. There is the starter pack. Shit, I'm a minute and 30. See, this happens. That's why I need more bandwidth or whatever it's called. I need to get motivated. I need to get going. And that's exactly why this is happening. See, Lord said, you just do what you're led to do. And this was it, to help not just Hadley when I was here. She's not allowed to come over so much anymore, yet I helped teach her here. I don't even have a GED. Spell and stuff like that. Beautiful thing. Got a bond going on with her that nobody can. You can tell children all you want about people that they believe they should love or something, but once they get older, once they get to a point where they can make their own decision and they can see and go, wait a minute, man, this stuff is not even, none of what they've said is true. That's why she could say all she wants, but now and here they are saying, wow, my dad is none of that stuff. Are you kidding me? Well, I've been around for the most part, other than the absent when she's ran off of the, like I said, there's only a grand total of so many truly hands-on dysfunctional years, but a total of 25 because I hadn't reached the place that I had back in December 22nd of 2015, and that's why we ain't playing that no more. It just had to. And now we're here. This is where we're at, and moving major mountains, and continuing, proceeding with caution, but proceeding, and just making, and things are happening. Things are all happening. Don't know any of these, never spoke to any of these people before other than through the Holy Spirit. None of them. And look at what's being laid down. Are you picking it up? Look what's being laid down. Well, Casey in Arkansas. Everything that's being said on some of these podcasts, everything, all of it. There's always somebody listening, paying attention. So now, a million little pieces. Now I'm back to McNeil Island. I got to get rolling. Back to McNeil Island. Million little pieces. Found out that it's plagiarized. Tell old Toddy Waddy he doesn't, he's quite the, he's a big boy. This boy here, he could, he's like, he could, like several of my friends, they could be world-class bodybuilders. They're in love with their body. But his first love, then you could see, it was the Lord. I let him stay with me for a little while when I got out, before we had to get rid of that kitty. Took it up there at Albertsons, got rid of it. Of course, they love to tie up loads for you that they themselves never intended to move. And then Donnie and I were off to see the wizard down to Reading. But getting too far ahead of myself. So yeah, all that happened there, and Todd and all the stuff at the chapel that I don't even want to, just some crazy stuff that happened with one particular staff member. She and some other Samoan. I've known them all. Was raised around most of the Polynesians down there in Seattle. The SOS, the son and sister of Samoa, the gang, and every other Adventist that a lot of them are Polynesians, believe it or not, and becoming and counting. I've known the Talagas, the Tawalas, the Feelies, the Taleleas. I've known them all. I've known all my Junior Feely. I've known Maya, Jeremiah. actually after the beloved Jeremiah. Um, Maya is a very good friend of my brother. As a matter of fact, I think my brother might even be hanging up around there. Uh, yeah, you want to talk about in-house mafia? Um, yeah, there's no that mafia is a thing of the past. That old Bugsy and they telling their stories. That's because this stuff is happening now in the meth world. That's why it is having a hard time. It's having to unleash and pull the blow the dam, so to speak, in certain areas because it's got just its plan isn't worked out the way it quite the way it expected. So yeah, just like the old the El Toro down there. Oh yeah, they'll when it suits them, and then when they're not buying dope from them or doing things their way, and they're going around about the ways things, and oh, absolutely, then it's and just to get a rah 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 and and Sun God rah, they just want cheerleaders, and oh, it's all just the biggest crock of crap since you know old Geronimo. Um, but yeah. Um, and I think it wasn't it Cochise? I think it was Cochise was Geronimo's chief from I think he was a Warm Springs Apache if I haven't gotten that correctly. Yeah. If you want to watch a real good one, if you guys like anything about really some good stuff, it's called uh well, it's slipping my mind. Anyway, um you're not forgotten, or we have not forgotten. It's an older flick, but it's a really decent. I think it's pretty close to being somewhat on point. Anyway, so yeah, old Chris Nias, thank you, Father. Got Chris's number. I got Leonard Danil's, which is good because in case there's some things I might, they've ran that statute of limitations right into the ground. But when you got a different, we got a whole different judge presiding, different venue, whole different juror. Now we're just rewriting. Now the laws really come marching in like the saints. That everybody's becoming. Well, let me take a little gander real quick. Talking about the goose, calling the pot black. Let me see real quick, people. Oh, isn't that nice? Giant wooden pickup sticks. Absolutely. Well, absolutely. That's just one I if I sat and told you all the stuff that they would send and the stuff that when I hadn't even inquired once, even Googified it or anything, it's just you would be like I said, it'd be just gargoyle. Bring me a 12 gauge, cause I'm gonna shoot you. That's 17-inch skirts. That's what's illegal here. So anyway, so thank you, Father, for this, Chris Nias. This is good. This is good because I need to get a hold of Chris. And I ran into somebody that she's going to know his name when she comes home from work. And she's going to go, oh, because she always did. And I always forgot. And I always thought there was something going on between them. I'm like, what do you, huh? Is that Chew, huh? Is that she not just coming over and getting the rats out of the cellar uh, or toys in the attic? Ugh, talk about cobwebs in my mind. Wipe the cobwebs from my mind. If I close my eyes forever. That's Lita Ford and Ozzy. I know, it scared you. Tears, no more tears going down there. But you should have said, that's all fine and dandy. But woulda, shoulda, coulda. Now you have the opportunity. And we have until, like I said, you're the next runner up. My birthday. This is gonna be the best birthday ever. If not before, it's gonna be the best birthday ever. At least then I'll know for show. I'll know for show. Who's this Chew? Chew. Who's Chew? I want to know who this Chew is, Tawana. Oh, Donnie, Chew. You. I said, oh, okay, Chew. All right. So I gets myself out of McNeil Island. Take a little ferry boat ride. Oh, and I pay the toll. Yeah, well, I pay the toll, all right. I pay the toll. I pay it well. I seriously thought they'd be waiting there for me. The law would be waiting for me. But it would just so happens that they weren't. I was like, there was just some guy crabbing. I hope he had his license. I could have really scared him. Said, "Excuse me, sir, I'd like to see your license, please. And while you're at it, where's your mask? Your gloves? Stand back when I'm stand back when I'm speaking at you." No, not even close. This is back in what, 06? 07 now, probably, maybe. Just the beginning of or something. I know Christmas. I got my package in Christmas there, and I wasn't there very long. I told her, listen, you make sure you bring me a change of clothes because I'm getting out of this monkey suit. And I want to I'm going to my probation office. You don't have to go. You have a whole so-and-so 72 hours. I said, oh, I know. But, I'm like, this is how I am. This is, I'm going to invite you in how I am here. Just a little FYI about how I'm, I like to have things tidy and stuff. And I don't like to mince words really. So I know you might not think that, but I don't like wasting any brush strokes. And another thing is I wasn't going to wait for the 72 hours. See, if I knew that could get done and out of my hair, and I'd been drug free for a long time. I was snapping on all, four of the 3 cylinders that were out in my little Volkswagen Rabbit. And I said, "Oh no, that's why I wanted you to bring these here." You see, I had to actually wait for my counselor to come in. They're like, "Oh, we don't have you scheduled to leave." Well, of course you don't, because you pieces that weren't going to have me leave. It just was a big joke to you guys, and I had to actually get him to call. Oh, you think I'm kidding? She's sitting there waiting and waiting. I had to wait for the next damn bride ferry, but she's there. And I told her, now this is why. So now I got my stuff on. And I went down there, right there. She's the end. My probation officer, which happened to be Kelly Stave. I'm gonna write that down. Oh, she was awesome, little Chris. She helped me get my license page. She actually helped me with the deal, find out about the deal in was it Michigan, or I think it was Minnesota, from that the ticket. I think I got a ticket when I had a ticket there. I hadn't paid, and she helped. Actually, she used the fund and she could have thrown me in the jail many times. I had so many dirty damn UAs, and I was on DOSA. Same reason old Ryan went back. But I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Kelly Stave. Imagine that, old Kelly. Yeah, she was a cute probation officer. But not only cute, she was beautiful because she had the Holy Spirit. I could see it in her, and I knew then. And I told her, I said, I knew the Lord had given me you for. And she says, yeah, maybe the Lord works in mysterious ways. She don't want to get too chummy. But I did get a hug out of her when she dismissed me after she said, I can take you to jail. And I said, I know you can. She goes, but I know it's not going to do you any good. It's not going to do you and your boy any good. She goes, and it's just weed. I said, I know, and she says, but I just want you to know. And she went to bat for me because I would have been in prison a long time. I'd have been just like old Ryan. Doesn't matter if you have 90 days left. Sometimes it doesn't matter. 4 months. He had 4 months. 4 months. Revoked his DOSA. Yep. So, but I did. I graduated the program. I graduated the program because I wasn't all strung out on anything else. Although I was doing a bunch of crap I shouldn't have been doing. I'm not even going to say because I could still be implicated in some stuff. But I was doing stuff. Let's just say I was gold mining, and it wasn't no little peddly little stuff. I wasn't climbing through no one's windows. I like to go in when people were there, and I would go and do things that you would shit your britches over. You'd be like, I cannot believe you're doing this right now. And I got off on that kind of stuff. I loved adrenaline. I loved when my heart just like it had been. Now, see, it hadn't for a long time. It only did that just when we were in our union, I believe, there, Millie. And a couple times since I've been home, when my adrenaline got up, like the other night when the baby started crying, and I found out the baby was actually in there while she was saying that, trying to get the damn bottle on a top on a bottle that it didn't belong to. And although it looked, I don't care how it looked, it didn't fit, ding dong. And because you don't do the dishes like I do, you don't know that. Because you don't know that. But I'm the one that does all the cleaning around here. I do all of it. I clean the toilets. I do all of it. I do everything because I'm not going to live in a stinky, pissy ass house. I don't care. As long as I'm here, and I don't have to be, I'm led to be. If it's dirty, clean it. It's just how it is. So anyway, now that I've got completely off track, but now look what's happened. We're back where I got Kelly Stave, which I would have gotten eventually. So thank you. I need to also add her, and I have prayed for her for years also. But I gave her many clean UAs. It wasn't until after Mouth and I separated, and I went back to the exact same. Well, I'm gonna be a flick snitch, but that Jarvie deal where I got Donnie to begin with, him and I was there again. You're saying what? Are you serious? Yep. Right across from the place that the cop that I said, you stupid little, you don't even know. You're the one that pulled me over and did all that in front of my children, wanted to impound my vehicle. Okay, you guys already heard the story. You see how things work? That's why you want to be careful on who you mock and who you poke at. Because I didn't sign up for this. All I did was I sought what I thought was truth, and the Lord straightened me right out. He said, son, that's what you are, is truth. It's like, I am light, what you seek is flame. So anyway, yeah, now I'm almost into and I'm going to stop this at 2 hours. So that's just all there is to it. I'm going to have to, because I'm not going there. I'm not gonna get my heart. I've really nipped all that. She's tried and tried and tried, and I was so, man. The Lord said, "See, you can do it. That's why you're sitting right here. Is to also, there's that. Yeah, it's not just time and pressure. It's heat, and there's that diamond. There's that diamond, sweetie. Thank you, Tori. And that's it. You're right. That's what that is. And I needed this so that I could be a good husband to my wife, and a good father to children that I might bear. But I don't know. I'm just living in the here and now, and I'm so happy. And I felt your heart, Millie. I felt it. You know what you're doing? You're playing. I'm done playing those games. You're playing the wrong and with the wrong banker. You don't want to do that. If that, you're only hurting yourself. That's all you're doing, sweetheart. Stop. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm gonna wring your little ass out in love. If you try some stupid stuff with me or have anybody, I'm going to be right there to catch you while you fall. Didn't you hear the song? Didn't you hear her? I'll be there waiting. I'll catch you. I'll be there waiting. Time after time. But don't don't bite the hand that is going to feed you. I'm just passing mail, sweetheart. I can feel it right now. I am so high right now on the Holy Spirit. I'm literally the good Lord, Father, Yahweh, Abba. My head is about, and I know what it is literally bzzz. Right now. It just happened this last 30 seconds. It's going like you wouldn't believe right now. So something is happening, and it's always been happening. But you have free will. I'm not forcing anybody. Forced love is rape. You know why that girl? She was falling in love with me. I was too messed up because she was seeing stuff in me. A prostitute in some I wasn't able to see in myself. An old man. She was barely 19 years old. Took me to her house. Didn't care about all the money that I was holding up for $20 that she was getting her money's worth, or so she thought, and she was banking on. Do I regret stuff like that? Yeah. Yes, I do. But I know the truth, so it's made me free. But the Lord sat there and he said, son, please lift your head up. Please. We needed that. We both, she needed me and I needed her. And you might say, well, then what about me from the beginning? Because he takes that which isn't and makes it as if it were. That's why. And when people just decide to forfeit and say, okay, well, that's my free will and that's not my cup of tea. It's not necessarily that's a right or wrong answer. It's just something you're going to have to now. That's part of your going to be incorporated in part of your life. And whether or not it's a right or wrong is going to depend on the answer you get through the anointing of the Holy Spirit. If it's something that passed you by, like old Dreamboat Annie, well, then it was meant to be that way, and you can't cry over spilt milk because you knew you kept setting that glass there, like my son. You just kept setting that glass there. You just kept setting that glass there, and in the same spot that it fell the last two times, and then was going to set it there for the third time. I've been there twice. There's not going to be a third time. I'm not going up there without you and I speaking. Period. How about that? Period. For a period. How about that? That's not going to happen. I've done that twice, and you know that. So there you go. You can, how many licks does it take? It's not fucking 3, that's for sure. Because I'm not going there and that happening again without you and I talking. Get it? So, and not this little secret squirrel shit either. So there's that. And that's love. That's in love right there. So you can do what you want with that. Now it's almost 2 hours, and I didn't want to end on that note, but that's just where we are because that's where we're obviously going. Because you want to keep setting your obviously, I'm not. No genie in a bottle. Yeah, it's out of the bottle. Well then, like I said, well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not the one. I'm the other 3. Do you understand? I'm not the one. So, with that being said, I love you, Millie Faith Weaver. If I got that correctly, I know Weaver is right. I believe I fell in love with the right woman. If not, then the right woman is falling in love with me, and that's going to become the chapter of that story right there. Because it isn't for them not trying. Oh, they tried. You should have seen the one they not only what they threw in front of the train, what they put on that train. Oh yeah. You see this right here, Millie? You see what he did? Look at her. Oh, and you would have been, oh man, that fucking talk about oh, I hate that bitch. Oh, you would have oh yeah. And it wasn't even my type. My type is who I fell in love with. My type is those brown skin shining in the sun. If you want to know what my carnal type is. But you see, they didn't even know that because they don't know me intimately. They can't. They want to. They throw me every. They wanted me on that team so long. Yeah, you want to talk about Arthur? Could have had it all. Could have had it all. There's that song right there. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. That I just got hit again with another slap of the Holy Spirit. That's why everything you're hearing is right. And I'm gonna let this go at 2. And I love you, Millie. Don't think I don't. But don't think that I'm just. What do you think? I just come to just let you dictate the head. Oh yeah, there's a head and there's an order, and it's not going to be out of order. Oh, you're very much would be a part of that, intricate part of that. But other than that, if it's not that way, you're going to be an intricate part of your husband's. That's not for me to tread, and so you need to think about that and get married up, and don't waste any time. Because okay, I love you. I'm gonna let you go because I don't want it flipping out on me. Don't be wasting any time because I'm. You don't want to be. We're in a. You just never know. You read. You know what the Bible. You know what's right, sweetheart. Okay, I love you. I gotta let you go, and I do love you. So apparently, maybe, and don't take this the wrong way. You need to seek some self love. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. That was my issue. That's what kept me in that same kind of situation that it almost would almost appear like you would want me to stay in some kind of a fantasy, like it's going to get better, even though it's not. It's going to just please just if you just another just wait another. I swear that dude had me waiting longer than, and I said, listen, if I didn't think you were had me waiting like that anyway. So, yeah, of course it's not a pizza. Of course you're not a pizza. Absolutely not. Come on, come on. But what do you think? And really, you already know. So don't do that to yourself. It's not. You're not doing it to me. And here, you can look right in my eyes, look right in there, and you can count all the give a shits because I do. Because I care. Oh, you can count them all. I heard someone say, "Yeah, the money is something about a buck in my top pocket," and I thought, "Oh, that's pretty cute." But you just count all the give a shits in my eyes and see, because sometimes you won't. You're not going to find any. If you look hard enough, you're going to be, well, there ain't not one give a shit in his eyes, not one, not one, because there can't be. Because I'm going to tell you why. For the same reason why there couldn't be when I was going down there to try to spread the good news, which I'm doing now. There couldn't have been, or you wouldn't have experienced what you and all the people in the process. Oh, and my wife is right there and becoming going, I know this story. Oh, I know this story well. Hopefully it's you. But if not, she's going to go, yes, you see, you don't think this has all just been a waste of time? Oh, little Missy, come on. Let's not toy with ourselves. The cat toying with itself. Come on. I told you what those golf balls, what they look like when they open up on that shop floor. Oh, bing, 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 bing. They just fly around. You got to watch out, man. It's like those BBs when I was paying Forrest back for all the, yeah. Anyway, I got to go. I'm going to get in trouble. I love you. Love yourself. Love God. Ask him, please, and know, and just know. Okay? And have it, enjoy your Sabbath if that's what you're doing. If that's what I believe you're all doing, great. If you're not led to do that, don't do it. Please do what you're led to do. Nothing more, nothing less. And you might say, well, that's what I've been doing. No, Millie, that's not what you've been doing. You've been just thinking like she does. Yeah. Well, if I just put it offline, it'll just go away. No, it doesn't just go away. Truth doesn't go away. It's just a matter of time, and it exposes just all the stuff that you've tried to been hide, what you've been trying to hide behind, which is a lie. Everything you've been trying to support, everything you've been, and you've been doing a really good job of it. I'm not, but again, I got good news and bad news. The bad news is we're lost, and I have no idea where we're going. The good news is we're making excellent time. Not me, baby girl. You're not going to have, I'm not in that camp. She's not, none of you. I don't care how much, ain't none of you. Cause I've got, like I said, I'm not going to need to pick and choose. She's going to be, I'm going to know. But believe me, they're jockeying in. Don't think they're not. Don't think they're not. And that's not what this was for. And the Lord said, but that's exactly what is in, that's what's becoming of it. Because of your obedience, son, because of your truthfulness, because of your suffering, because you continue to fight for her. And she obviously doesn't even know that you will. And so hopefully you won't be one of the ones that are standing there and like, you're naked, you're not clothed in no righteousness, seamless, clothed in righteousness. And do you see? And then you, of all people, after you seen everything, you witnessed and heard all that, oh, do you think it's going to be very nice? Oh no. Oh no, it's not. And it will be your own fault. It'll be nobody's fault but your own. Don't do that to yourselves. And don't do that to your loved ones, the ones around you. And your family knows, and they're no, for what? What do they know? Which you haven't said yet? What do they know? What do they know? Which you've been told to say by, huh? Well, Mr. Crapper? And he doesn't give a shit about you. He never did. I didn't want you to go there. You're really fortunate that you're very fortunate that you know the man with the upper hand, and you are extremely loved and always will be. But I was this close to saying, don't go, but the Lord said, don't do that. She's cocky, and she's gonna, oh, now he's trying to, you can't tell. And then, oh yeah, and I meant that when I said, how do you feel about her now? But I knew you were scared as all could be, standing there right there. Oh, here they come again. I can feel all of it, baby. I know it all. I'm not trying to mock you. I know. That's exactly why the Lord chose you. But you have to be the one to get off the pot, because it's not gold, it's lead. And you're not getting an alchemy set. You are the alchemy set. Or not. Anyway, I got to go. I love you. Bye.